Noobs for general disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Cliff, and it's under the command of kosats13 of the F-Off clan.
Let's go!
And he's got skill as his commander. I think you can see 2 marks of excellence on the barrel already, so he's well practiced. He knows what this Arty is all about and what it's capable of. It's a very fast firer for a Tier 10, mainly down to the fact, of course, it has an 18cm howitzer instead of the usual ones. Okay, and he's doing the right thing, aiming for the road, going up to the top of the hill. If you can take those tanks out as they're going up there, you might provide an easy kill for one of your teammates. T100LT trying to do just that, rounds out. Well, he didn't get the kill because the Super Conqueror got there before him, but I'm pretty sure he would have got a direct hit. And as a consequence, either way, he actually made sure that his teammates managed to get a kill, or they at least managed to stop the enemy gaining the hill. We can also see he's using the concentration skill to dial in on the enemy. Rounds out the Rhinoceros, direct hit, 372. Now, these shells are capable of doing 800 alpha, 45mm a pair, 9.5 meters on the blast radius, and between 11.5 and 29 seconds of stun. The Rhinoceros got taken out by the Super Conqueror in the end. Okay, we've got 2 tanks managed to make their way all the way around the cliff, and they're sitting on that ramp. Rounds out the 277, direct hit. It's a very accurate Arty. It's also fairly quick on the reload as well. The standard reload, 30.68 seconds, but you can see here, Kosats has got it down to 25.89, and that's very quick for a Tier 10. The only problem is this Arty doesn't have a huge number of shells. Unfortunately, that's the first one that he's fired that doesn't hit the target. He was using the extra HE, the non-stun HE. He's reloading another of those shells, but he might switch to the intuition, or using intuition skill to go back to the stun. Okay, he's loaded. Fires it in. Gets a direct hit. Oh, he's got a fire. That guy's burning, and his fire goes out. So obviously he's using consumables, but he doesn't have a fire extinguisher in there, and he relied on his crew to actually put the fire out manually. Okay, so far 1,500 hit points of damage, 194 of stun assist. Who's next? STB1, rounds out. Direct hit again, 165, right next door to the mantlet. He didn't penetrate the guy, but you can see how accurate he is on his targets. Now it looks like our guys have control of the hill, and they're shooting down on these guys over here. So the STB1 is not in a good position at the moment, and he's likely to take more damage. Rounds out. Another direct hit, this time 303, and he does go down, which gets more stun assist. Now with these new skills, he's actually probably improving and increasing the amount of damage he's doing. You can see some of the skills keep kicking in, some of them kick out. He's got the concentration skill working at the moment. Arty players do like some of the skills, or some of them do, most of them do. They like them because they do buff the art of play. Mind you, they also buff it for other players as well. So the AMX-50B goes down. Another tank taken out by a Super Conqueror. It might be the same Super Conqueror. Well, I think it is actually. The guy's got 3 kills. And we've got a TVP T5051. We're fully loaded. And we get some splash on him there. Now there might be some enemy tank destroyers up on this in the sniper's nest. We've got a Gorilla 15 over on this corner. Oh, the TVP just took a big hit from somebody. and we got the assist on that. So the stun assist has now gone up to 1,275. Rounds out the Gorilla. And that was a direct hit. In fact, it was a penetrating shot, and it was a high roll. The Gorilla is now one shot. He's still stunned. Looking up at the sniper's nest. Notice how it's dialing in so quickly. The Gorilla goes down, and we got the stun assist off that one as well. Rounds out the sniper's nest. Now, the enemy Arty in this game is an Object 261 and a T92. Oh, one of the snipers has come down from the nest. It was a Leopard 1. And the other one's the Object 268. So, yes, it looks like there was somebody up there. We're going to go for the 268 first. Rounds out. Very quick shot, that one. Direct hit for 292. Some stun. He's decided he's not going to stay up there and get shot anymore. Looks like they're all coming down from the sniper's nest. They know it's too dangerous to be up there now. And the 268 goes down to the Bosch. With 5 tanks up on the enemy, we fire another one in. And one of the enemy Arty's just come into sight. We're ignoring it for the moment because we're still going after these tanks over here. Our left one's gone into the sniper's nest and shooting down on the enemy. In fact, that Leopard 1 is getting hammered by the Batchat, but yeah, I think he just got taken out by the Tessac. A Tessac has gone up there and he's just blasting down with his autocannon. And he takes a kill as well. There's only 2 enemy left. It's the Arty, the Object 261 and that T92. And they're definitely down here. In fact, we think that the Object 261 is in those bushes there. So the other Arty is probably in the... Oh, there he is. Rounds out. Well, we get a bit of splash there, but we can pick up the stun assist. There's the stun assist. And the Tessac takes out the 261 as well. And that's game over with a good victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for kosats13 in the Object 261. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11 in that game. He got a Gauss medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And on top of that, he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. In fact, he didn't get a single kill in the game, but that actually helped him to get the Confederate because, of course, the more enemy tanks you hit without and then get killed off by your teammates means that the more you qualify for this medal. And he certainly did on this occasion because none of the enemy tanks were killed by him, but they were all killed by his teammates. 3,155 was the win 8, and that's Super Unicum Standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he actually picked up the highest damage on his team, but not the highest damage overall. The Leopard 1 on the enemy team, which I think might have been the guy in Sniper's Nest, managed 4,335 hit points of damage. The second highest damage went to kosats13. He managed 4,010. And the third highest damage in the game went to the Leopard 1 on his own team with 3,566. When it came to kills, though, the top scorers were the Manticore, that super conqueror that I kept mentioning, who got a Brothers in Arms in that game, and then the 60 TP, who also picked up a Brothers in Arms, and I think that's the Tessac there on the team, who managed 3 kills as well, because of course it's not showing at the moment, hasn't been put into the database. The only enemy tank on the enemy team who actually managed to get 3 kills was the Leopard 1. When it came to Kosats, of course, we said he didn't get any kills at all, but that did help him to get the Confederate medal. And when it came to base XP, he's right up at the top again with, not at the top, the very top, the Manticore got that. 974 went to the Manticore, 952 went to kosats13, and 933 went to the Leopard 1. He fired 15 rounds, so he still had some rounds spare at the end of the game, but the game didn't last very long, only 7 minutes and 21 seconds. So you can see he probably would have run out of ammunition if it carried on for much longer, because of course he was using up the ammo very, very quickly. He got 8 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 16 splashes. So I think there was only 1 round I saw that didn't actually do any damage. But that was because the enemy tank moved away from the spot just as the shell came in. 4,010 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 194 hit points of damage assistance and 2,858 stun assists of 13 stuns. So definitely that was a good game. That's where he got the ace tanker. On a premium count, he actually made 72,351 credits profit, and that includes a 50,000 mission completion bonus. He got 7 bonds because it was tier 10 game, and he also picked up 2,856 experience points out of the game as well. So it was a very good game. He had a big impact on the game, scored second highest damage on his team. And yes, he was certainly laying those shells down. He probably would have run out of ammo if it gone on much longer. We do have a second replay from kosats13. So let's have a look at that one. On the Malinovka map, we're on the north spawn and we're about to start.
Time to roll out.
Game on! Well, you can see the side-by-side skill came into effect there because he was within 50 meters of the other Arty, batch at 155.58. Now, a lot of people are saying that probably it's not the right skill for an Arty player to have, mainly down to the fact, of course, that it means you have to get very close to your fellow Arty, and that means you can be counter-batteried together in the same spot. He's trying to lay around onto the Minotauro. He wants to fire it through the window. Unfortunately, it impacted against the wall instead, so he didn't get that one in. And it looks like the enemy Arty, which happened to be a batch at 155.58 and a T92 HMC, have decided to attack the guys who are going for the spotting bush. Okay, we've got the concentration skill. Yes, probably not a good idea to have side by side, because it means that if the enemy light tank actually finds out where you are, he's going to find both Arties at the same time, and that's probably going to make it a very easy Pascucci's method. Rounds out, direct hit on the Leopard 1, 336. Leopard 1s do have fairly thin skins, which makes them fairly decent targets to penetrate. I think that one hit the frontal armor, and that means it's probably didn't, well, it obviously didn't penetrate on this occasion, but you can penetrate the rear of Leopards. I've seen that done. Now, the Minotauro's pulled back, but he's still behind the building, protecting himself. Now, we're about to see the enemy tanks appear on the hill, because our guys are almost at the top. Yep, there they are. And Kosats immediately turns his attention to them. Now, the Bosch has managed to come around one side of the windmill, and he does have some supporters coming up the hill, but we can slow these guys down by laying a shell in their path. Okay, we're going to go for the Panzerkampfwagen 7, and he gets a direct hit on him. The only two that actually went to the top of the hill, the IS-7 and the Bosch 155. IS-7's been stunned. Looks like our Batchat's at work. Now, even though it was a blind shot on the Panzerkampfwagen 7, we can see that he definitely got around about 200 hit points. And it looks like we're going to hit 2 with 1 shot here. Bounce out.
That was close.
Yep, he got 350 off the VZ55. And he also picked up 136 off the IS-7. Yes, if you ever park side by side on this hill, it does make it more fun for the Arty, because of course, oh, he's got 3 together now. That just makes it even worse. Now it's 4 together. This could be very good fun for them.
That was close.
Yes, because it means every shell hitting more than 1 tank at the same time. It's just hilarious when you see the tanks go down. It's like going to a bowling alley and firing and knocking pins down left, right, and centre. Well, they're sticking together and they haven't learned their lesson. Round south. Another direct hit. This time on the 705A. The other thing, of course, is he's stunning multiple tanks at the same time. And they could always take some more damage. Looks like our E100 is being, or E100 I should say, being protected from the tanks behind him. The Viz-55 takes another round. It does look like that rock there in the centre on the lower hill has actually changed in shape. Slightly different. Okay, we're going to fire a round in, see if we can get it between them.
That was close.
Yes, he did. He did it again. Changing position just a little to avoid counter battery. He's not under fire, but it certainly does help actually. Just to change position every now and then. Get a better angle. The Viz-55 says he's had enough. He's pulling back. He's doing the wise thing, actually pulling back face towards the enemy, but he's now one shot, and now he's out the game. Okay, Panzerkampfwagen. I almost can't pronounce it. Panzerkampfwagen 7. We're almost ready to shoot. Going for the rear of the vehicle, but he actually hits the turret. And look at that, he's got a fire hit there. Now it looks like the initial hit was for 780, but then he got a 628 from the fire. He didn't set fire to the tank, but he immobilized the tank, and it looks like his teammates, or rather he stunned the tank, and then his teammates hit the guy, set him alight, and of course he picks up the assistance for the shots on a target that was stunned. Okay, we've got the E3 now. He's on our side of the battlefield, but trying to make his way over from the riverside. Well, that one hit, but it didn't do any damage. Just got a clang. K91 is getting pretty much splattered. The Leopard appears to be still in that sniper's position at F7. Okay, we're looking for the enemy tanks on the other side of the battlefield as our guys come down, but this E3 for the moment can certainly do a lot of damage to him. We're using the intuition skill to change it to the non-stun HE to do more damage to him. And that was a big hit for 390. Makes him a one-shot. And the E3 was taken down, so he got the damage assist off that one. Concentration skill coming into effect again. Okay, there's the Leopard. Very difficult to see, but he is amongst the bushes. Takes a direct hit for 333. Now he's running low on the stun shells now. Remember I said in the previous battle, it is possible to run out of ammunition. Now the Minotaur popped out there for a moment, but he's not now gone back into cover. He's shooting to the north. We've got a 1-2-1 up on the hill, and that's distracted him and splashed him again. 267. There's still 8 left on the enemy team. But we're running short on ammo. I did say that, and it's now getting a bit of a worry. The Minotaur goes down to the 121. He's looking towards the hill. You can't see them because they're behind the trees. One of our guys needs to make his way down the hill. We just lost an IS-7. One of our team needs to go low. In fact, we've now lost an E5 up on that hill. In fact, we're hemorrhaging tanks. We did have a clear lead, but now the enemy have given it... they've got themselves together and they've regrouped, and now they are actually managing to equalize the scores. Yes, and the E100 on our team is the only one left up on the hill. Is backing away. He's actually decided to come down the other way. There is a way to actually get down from the hill using the ground against the enemy to creep up on that rock. And once you're at the rock, you can then proxy spot the enemy. And once you proxy spot them, our guys can take them out from further up the hill. But it appears that these players didn't realize that you can do that. Just use the low ground near the rock. So you slide down the hill, use the low ground to approach the rock from the western side of it, and then as soon as you get close enough, you'll proxy spot. If you don't do it that way, then chances are the enemy are going to use all those trees against you. You can see a lot of trees have been knocked down, and they've more than likely been knocked down because the defenders put up a defense in depth, and that means they had tanks fighting behind them. So we had some spotting and some shooting, and then we've got a UDAS 1516 up on the hill, and that UDAS 1516's done a lot of damage to our E100, who's down to a one shot. Now he's sitting behind the rock. The Foch 155 and the enemy team's coming to sight. There's the UDAS again, and we've now lost the E100. But the UDAS, is he going to go that way? Yes, routes out. Direct hit. 355. We need to change position, and we need to do it fast. But they've lost the UDAS 1516, so we can stay here. We've got a renewed lease of life, I should say. Unfortunately, the enemy are now one tank ahead of us. So we've given up our lead, and that's very, very difficult. Kosats has done a huge amount of damage so far to the enemy. 3,928, 2,500 stun assist. I think he's decided for his own sake he needs to reposition, get some protection from his teammates near the cap area, and there's good reason for doing that. You see there's nobody on the north of the lake, so if he stays where he was, he's more than likely going to get found by one of the enemy who decides to push in that area. Hori 3. His skill's not coming into effect yet. Oh, it's got the concentration skill up now. Rounds out. Direct hit. Oh, that was a good one. In fact, it was a penetrating shot for 1,093. He was using the extra stun HE. Now, the non-stun HE actually does 1,000 hit points of damage. So that was a high roll. And he got 56mm of pen and a 5-meter burst radius. So the burst radius is less, but more damage, no stun. The Hori 3 really suffered from that one. Another enemy tank's been spotted, so again, you can see more proof that he made the right decision to leave the area, because the Foch was trying to find out where he was and didn't know that he'd actually moved. He was headed towards the forest where Kosats was previously located. But we are now very short of ammo. We got one round of non-stun HE remaining. We're into the 2 minutes before the end of the game. There's still 4 enemy out there. We've turned the advantage all the way round again. They've still got their batch at 155, 58 and the T92. Our shell goes in and hits the Yate roof at 208 hit points. But as you can now see, we've got no ammo left. That was our last shot. And all we can do now is spot or try and cap. Our T124 is near the cap area, but he hasn't started capping yet. There's too many enemy nearby who could actually take him out. So all he can do is wait until he can actually use his ability to get into the cap and help a cap, or he can go spot. But if he does spot, he's more than likely to get taken out very quickly. He says in chat, I'm out of ammo, 5,200 damage. It tells his teammates, I've been working my rear off for you. Combined damage is nearly 8,000 hit points. That's a huge amount. Absolutely massive. But there's no more he can do for the moment. This is why Wargaming needs to give the Object 261 more shells, because they carried shells around in trucks to supply these guys. If you gave a 261 30 shells, and the same for the T92 HMC, it would make the game much more fun. They could keep fighting the whole battle long. We're now down to the last 10 seconds. And it's ended up a draw. Well, that was an honourable draw for kosats13 of the FOF clan in the Object 261. He got another ace tanker out of that game, as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 21 in that game, as well as a gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. And he got a Confederate again, even though he got a kill in this game. He got it again because, of course, he hit so many more enemy tanks than anyone else on his team. He proved that he was a working member. In fact, he was pushing it as hard as he could to win the game for his team. 4,982 is the win 8. That's Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score and see where he was. Well, he got the highest damage in the game by Shure by far, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. 5,349 hit points. That must be close to the 20% mark. But the next highest damage in the game turned out to be the 60 TP on his own team, 3,945. And the third highest, well, that was the Bosch 155 on the enemy team, who went hunting for him, but he wasn't at home. 3,808 hit points of damage to him. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the batch at 155-58 on our team, who got 3 kills. 3 kills went to the units 15-16. And also to their Leopard 1. And when it came to Kosats, he got just the 1 kill out of the game. When it came to base XP, he actually got the highest in the game again. So he got the highest damage, didn't get the highest number of kills, but he certainly got the highest base XP with 634. Second highest went to the Udis 15-16 with 570. And the third highest, well, that went to the batch at 155-58. So both Arty were working very hard. He got 565, the batch at 155-58. He fired 20 rounds, all of his ammo gone. He should have 30 rounds. He would have had an even bigger score at the end of the game. 14 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 20 splash. The penetrating shot was that big one he got on the Hori 3. Looks like he did penetrate through the side with a non-stun shell, or the HE with extra in it. He got 20 splashes as well, 5,349 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 1, and did 17 hit points of damage assist, and 2,668 of stun assist of 17 stuns. So combined damage is 8,000. So he really did work his rear off on that game. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 20,945 credits from a draw. I mean, would you believe it? Including getting courageous resistance, because of course he got medals in a losing or drawn game. And he also got 5 bonds because it was tier 10. And he also picked up 1,530 experience points out of that one as well. But he did as much as he could in that game, and it did go down to the wire. Unfortunately, there was just no chance that he was going to be able to win it. Without that extra ammo, he was not able to contribute anymore once he took that last shot. I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. Kosats obviously had a very good day because both of those replays took place on the same day. The first one, the Cliff one, actually took place at just before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the subsequent one was actually 5 hours later. But I'm pretty sure he had some other interesting games during the day. He's working to try and get his 3rd mark of excellence. He's got 2 on the barrel. He's almost there, and I'm sure he'll probably share some of his replays with us in the future. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.